Hi, and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Today, we would be discussing yesterday's problem of the day, that is, minimum steps required. So, without any further ado, let's just get started. So, I would give you a quick read about the problem. So, talking about the problem, we are given a string which would only consist of A and B. Please remember the thing that the string would only consist of A's and B's. And you need to find the minimum steps required to have an empty string by removing consecutive A's and B's. This is what you need to do. So now I would stop the screen sharing. I would share the whole screen instead. Hi Rishit, hi Jagan. Okay, minimum steps required, and here we go. Yep, fine enough. So now if I take a screenshot of this would be like this. Yes, see, if I have a screenshot of this, the thing would be that first I would remove this A and then the remaining one is B. So in total, I have two counts in it. That is why the answer to this is 2. So basically, you need to remove the consecutive A's. Then the A would be left out from the string and the B would concatenate to its place. Like first we have B, B, A, and then B, B. So first, if we remove this, First, if we remove this thing, then what would happen is this would come closer, and then we would remove the consecutive B's, and after this, we have a count of 2 itself. That is why we have this. Now, let us discuss the second test case. Now, if I ask you, so just see this with absolute care. So, see, first we have this as A, A, B, A, and then B, A, A. Okay. What we can do is we can remove the first string. Okay. So one is now removed. So one is now removed. After that point of time, after that point of time, everything would go closer. Okay. Then we would now remove this B. So this count would get updated to 2. And then this one would get close. And then we would remove all of this. And this would be updated to the point 3 itself. That is why the output to this is 3. So am I clear with the input? So am I clear with the test case? Hi Nakaj, how are you? So am I clear with the test case and everyone? So, okay, the flickering has been turned off. Okay, just give me a quick one in the chat if the sample test cases are clear to you. Okay, thanks a lot, Rishi. So I think we can move forward, no more issues. So we would move forward to the next thing. But if you see this, there is a thing to notice that we have A, and then we have B, A, and then B, A. Okay. So first we are removing this. Okay. Then we are removing this. Okay. And the last one, we are removing this side of the string. So if you observe that first, after this one, two are getting merged. Like if we remove one, so there would be either of these cases. Either it would be B, A, B, and this side can be B, B or A, whatever, we don't care. Or either it can be B, A. Okay. If we remove A or if we remove B, the weightage is same. So let us think in this fashion that we have B. So if you see that if I remove one, then after removing one, I can remove two at once. So see, the remaining, these two were considered as two individual consecutive sequence, but after removing A from between, they both have merged. So to remove, to remove three sequence, we require two operation. How? To remove the between one, and both of them would concatenate here. So to show you a better example would be, suppose you have 0 0 0, and here we have just 1 1 1, and here we have again 1 1 1. So this sequence is an individual sequence, this sequence is an individual sequence, this sequence is an individual sequence. So this is the very first operation. After that, we have the next operation. So only two operations are required. Okay. So we can say that if there are five strings, if there are five strings, then we would require 5 divided by 2, and this would be the floor value plus 1. How? So let me again show you. Suppose we have 1 1 1 0 0, and then we have again 1 1, and then again we have 0 0. And let's say here we have 0 0 again. This can be the sequence. Okay. A is replaced with 0 and B is replaced with 1. So now let's say that we are removing this 0 0. After removing this 0 0, we can remove these consecutive ones. And after removing this consecutive ones, I can also remove this one. So see, after removing one sequence, after removing the first sequence, so if you just observe what we did, see, after removing the first sequence, they would get out in pairs. Okay, so see, this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one, this is the fourth one, this is the fifth one. So now if we remove the third one, now they would start getting out in pairs. So 2 and 4 is now a consecutive sequence of 1. So they both would get out in pairs. And now the last one remaining, they also would get out in pairs. So after the first removal, we need n by 2 removals. Okay, this is how it is. So why seal value? Let me just show you this also. Suppose we have 1 1 0 0, then we have again 1 1, and then again we have 0 0. Let's say. Okay. So I am good till this point. Yeah. So see, first here also we remove 1 2 3 4. So here also, if we remove this part of 2, if we remove this part of 2, if let's say if we remove this part, then this would start getting out in pairs. So see, after this, this 2 would get out in pairs, and this one would get out in pairs. So I can say that if there are 4, 4 divided by 2 plus 1, and in the same manner 5 divided by 2, the floor value of it plus 1. Okay, so B, the number of occurrence of consecutive string is odd or even, we don't care about it, but n by 2 plus 1. This is what you need to do. So now you need to find the number of consecutive sequence, divide it by 2 using integer division, and then add 1 to it. Okay, so am I clear with the logic, how to think of it? Thank you so much, Ajay Soni. Okay, so now let us move forward to the coding part. Minimum steps. Yep. Okay. So I would name this as S because I'm a lazy person, of course. So I would initialize the count to 0. Okay. Initially, the count of consecutive sequence is 0. But then we would say for int I. So let's say that we would start from the very first character so that we can look back at the last character. So when a sequence is a consecutive sequence, when the current character is equal to the previous character, we can say, now if the current character has changed, the previous character and the current character has changed, like the previous character is A and the current character is B. So at this point, the count should increase. So that is why I would start from I is equals to 1, because minus 1 indexing is not possible. We start from 1 indexing so that we can look back once. So for I is equals to 1, I is less than n and I plus plus. So what is n here? N is of course the size. Int n is equals to s dot size itself. Yep. Fair enough. And then we would say if s of I is not equal to s of I minus 1. Suppose we have a, then it should be counted as 1. But when we encounter b, it should be 1 more. So at this point, we should say that we need to increase the count. At the end, whatever is remaining, we would say return c divided by 2. By default, if we don't typecast it, so c is an integer. So integer by 2 is equals to an integer. So even if 5 by 2 is equals to 2.5, it would have the value of 2 only. So we don't need to write floor or ceil or anything. Okay, floor value. So we already have the floor value after dividing by 2 and then plus 1. Okay. So now let's just compile and run and see how many errors are we making. Okay, seems like we don't have any errors. Okay, fair enough. Now let's do a dry run of this. So the second test case is absolutely very interesting and very. So now let's say we have, so initially the value of c is equals to 1. Let's say that we have a. So we would start from the next a, that is second number. So a's previous is a only, so we don't count it. Then we have b. At this point, c would become 2. Okay. Then we have again a. So at this point, this should become 3. Okay. And now we have a, and then again b. So this should become 4. Okay. And then we have again a. So this should become 5. And then we again have a. So previous character is equals to that character. So this won't be true. At the end, we have 5. Okay. So 5 divided by 2 is equals to 2. So 2 plus 1 is equals to 3. So 5 divided by 2 is equals to 2, and then plus 1 is equals to 3. That is why the answer to this one is 3 itself. So now I would just share the tab itself and tell me the point at which you are not able to understand. So just tell me the line number. So I would quickly revert back to what was already there. Yep, this is correct. Let me just quickly check. Yep, this is correct. So now tell me the point at which you are not able to understand. Just tell me the line number. And this would be, hi Henrik, good evening from India. Most welcome Ajay, Sony. So by the way, a quick reminder to everyone, today we would be having a 3 hours SD stream session. So earlier we were having 6 hours SD stream session, then we had 4, then we had 3 in this channel. But this time in Geeks or Geeks main channel, we have it at that point. Okay. So I think I'm clear enough till this point. Yep. Okay. So that was it from my side. So if you're watching this stream in the recorded version, feel free to like and comment the video so that the reach of this video could be increased and the work could be justified. And if you face any issues or something, you can ask them in the comment section. Thank you, everyone.